Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Jacqueline and here's another continuation of a more in-depth, spoilery kind of review slash description or my thoughts and feelings on the book. Basically, I just talk about the main points that stuck out to me that I remembered that I liked the most. A lot of it has to do with the relationships because I am a big cute relationship kind of person. That's all I want to see. Well, I mean, I like the plots and like the big, awesome, epic things that are happening as well, but mainly I just want to see the two love interests be super cute together. Anyway, so this is that video. Sorry for the long introduction. Today we're starting with number 6, Sorcery of Thorns. And this is really good. It's by the same person who did An Enchantment of Ravens. And the writing is really great in both of them. This is about Elizabeth. She is a librarian in a magical library with magical books. A lot of the books are grimoires, or all of them are grimoires. I think just a lot of them are grimoires. And they're powered, I guess you would say, by demonic energy, or made with demonic energy or something like that. And they are quite dangerous. Some of them can influence you to do things you wouldn't normally do. Some can straight up take over your mind and make you do whatever. Some can see the future. Some can straight up cause destruction. And if they are damaged in any way, they become I don't remember what they're called. They become evil giant monsters that are really hard to kill. And a lot of people lose their lives doing it. But she wants to become a keeper to protect them. To protect the grimoires so that this doesn't happen. But at the beginning of the book, we find out that she was just left on the doorstep. Normally the keepers, or the people who are going to train to become keepers, are left, or go to the libraries to study as teenagers, but she's been there since she was an infant, so she has taken in the magic of the library and the magic of the grimoires. So she's a little bit more immune to them, and she's got some more special powers, and stuff like that. And she's like a part of the libraries. So while the libraries are kind of alive because they have also taken in all this magic from the grimoires, they help them, and the grimoires help her. They see her as a part of them, and they want to help her. They like her. And so that kind of helps in the story a little bit later. But at the beginning of the book, she meets Nathaniel. He is a sorcerer, and she has been raised to believe that sorcerers are bad and sorcerers are evil because in order to have their magic power, they give up a part of their life, or a certain amount of years of their life that they've bargained with a demon for, and then the demon lives with them, and that's how they get their magic power. So she's been raised to believe that they're all evil, but she finds out that a sorcerer is coming to her library, or the library that she lives in and works at, and she's curious, and so her and her friend go and hide in the library. Her friend doesn't see anything, but Elizabeth falls out from behind the bookcase that they're hiding behind and ends up having an entire interaction with him, and thinks he's kind of cute, and is curious how someone that looks like him and acts like him could be this, like, super evil being, because he's not that bad of a guy. I mean, he makes some poor jokes preying on the fear that she has, but, I mean, he wouldn't actually do those things. So she's a little bit conflicted, and then someone attacks the library and lets a grimoire out, and the woman who raised her, the, like, leader of the library, big boss lady in charge, has raised her whole life. She kind of sees her as a mom, sees her as a mentor, wants to be just like her. She gets killed in the struggle. And then Elizabeth takes her mentor's sword and goes after the grimoire and kills it. Nobody believes her that she killed a grimoire all by herself, because normally it takes like 12 keepers to take down a grimoire of that level, and normally they lose a few along the way in the battle. So nobody believes that she was able to take down this big bad grimoire, this like level 8 grimoire, all by herself, but she did. So she's put on trial because everyone now thinks that she was the one who released it, so that she could fabricate this whole, ooh, I saved everyone, and like maybe become the new leader of the library or something. So she's being put on trial, and then they find out that she didn't really do it, and she thinks that she's getting saved by like the mayor of like the main town or whatever, only to find out that he's real bad, and he's like convinced everyone that she's crazy and needs to be locked up, and like the angrier she gets about her situation and the fact that everyone's looking at her like she's a zoo animal or something, makes her feel a little crazy. And then like she's getting real angry, and every time she has an outburst, they're just like, oh, that's just a part of her being crazy, because like they all think that she like is just some crazy woman, because this takes place in like Victorian England. So if you want to like discredit a woman specifically, you just have her diagnosed with hysteria. Not only discredit her, but keep her silent. Nobody will ever believe anything she says, because he had a doctor come in and say that she was basically diagnose her with like hysteria, and so that nobody will ever believe anything that she says. They're about to have her locked up in an insane asylum when she escapes, and she gets help from someone who works at the insane asylum. The guy who had her, the mayor, before he sends her off to live there, he owns the insane asylum and knows everything that's happening there. It's not a good place. The patients are abused, like, it's real bad. Haven escapes, though, and eventually finds Silas. Silas kills a bunch of dudes who, like, try to hurt her, and, carries her back to Nathaniel's house. And then Nathaniel's like, what the fuck is she doing here? And Silas is like, she's gonna die, like, she's real sick. And Nathaniel's like, he kind of likes her because he thinks she's cute and, like, all this stuff, but he's like, I can't be with anyone because I'm damaged. So he's like, then put her back out on the street and let her die. And Silas is like, I know you don't mean that. I know how you feel about her. And he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Fine, she can stay. So she stays, and then she convinces him to let her start investigating and uses books to help her, like, find out a reason why all the libraries are getting attacked, why grimoires are getting released, and they find out that it's some big plot to, like, activate some satanic star to, like, release the leader of hell. I don't remember who it is in this book. But, that's the goal, because then if you can make a deal with it like you do with the lesser demons, then you get, like, ultimate magic power as a sorcerer, and you get, and you've got, like, control over everything. You could take over the world, and, like, yeah. So that's what's happening. It turns out the mayor is the one who wants this. He tries to take over the whole world and everything, but Haven, Silas, and Nathaniel stop him. Well, I should mention that the whole time, like, she's investigating, Nathaniel's like, "Ew, go away, I don't want you here." And, like, every time she's in the library, he's like, "Ignore her, ignore her, ignore her." But he's really, like, falling in love with her because they've got all these cute little moments. And then they do fall in love. They, like, have this battle. One of them thinks the other's about to die, and then they're not. And then after that, they go and figure out what's happening and try to stop it. Or no, they had figured out what's happening, and now they're gonna go try and stop the mayor dude from summoning the giant leader of hell, or whatever, in the main library that's in this town, which is at the center of all of them. They get there, and Silas stays out, and he's fighting for a little bit with the two of them, and Nathaniel animates some statues to fight the demons that are running amok out there. Silas, Nathaniel, and Elizabeth go into the library, and they make it to the center where this guy is trying to summon whatever it is. And it's too late. They're summoning it. Silas is able to stop it, though, but in stopping it, the roof comes down and almost kills Nathaniel and Elizabeth. But Elizabeth is able to save them because the library likes her, and of course the library's alive, because of all the magic that's imbued in the walls and stuff. So the stones fall around the two of them in such a way that they survive. And then they get together at the end, and it's super cute. On to the next one. Hello, lovely. I'm recording a video.
Huh?
I said, I'm recording a video.
Okay. Yes, actually.
Would you like to come say hi?
That's okay.
The next series is Fallen Academy. It's really good. Not sure what else to say about it. As an introductory to me telling you about it. Anyway, so Fallen Academy Book 1. Brielle finds out that she's a Celestial, but she's different than other Celestials. Normal Celestials have big, bright white wings, or gray wings. Like a really light gray, like dove gray. Like the Archangels. But she's got pitch black wings, like Lucifer. That scares a lot of people. The demons want her on their side. The angels want her on their side. She doesn't want to be on the demon side, but the demons get a hold of her mom and are like, "You're going to become a slave, or we're going to kill her right here." So she does what they say. And then, but does still go to school with the angels. Or on the angel side. The demons are about to sell her to a big bad demon because she's a slave, and she'll have to, like, she'll end up in hell with Lucifer, and that's bad because she's got the power of all of the archangels. So Lincoln fights for her freedom. He wins her freedom, she fights for her best friend's freedom, wins her best friend's freedom, and everything's all good. There's a lot of fights, a lot of stuff. Her and Lincoln get closer. They're super cute. This one, what happens in this one? She gets her mom free, and her mom and her brother end up in Angel City. They find out her brother's a werewolf. Do you remember what happens in this one?
What's the book?
The second Fallen Academy book?
We didn't even finish that one, I think.
No, we finished all of them. We didn't read 3.5 because 3.5 is like the whole depressed Lincoln story when she's in hell with Lucifer and he thinks she's dead.
We didn't watch, or we didn't read the second one because wasn't that the one about her daughter?
No. Fallen Academy. We read the first one, the second one, the third one. 3.5 is about Lincoln. Lincoln is her boyfriend, her soulmate.
Okay, I don't remember.
This is like... I honestly think this is the first book series I read to you. When I started... No, I read Court of Thorns and Roses to you, and then I read this to you, I think, and then I read...
No, I think after Court of Thorns and Roses, you read the Hive series to me.
Yeah, I read the Hive series to you, and then I think I read this to you after that, maybe. Anyway, it was a while ago. But the only one we didn't read was 3.5 because it's, like, Lincoln's perspective. He thinks she's dead, and it's just him being depressed and trying to get himself killed for the entire thing.
I probably got bored during book 2, if I'm being honest.
It all blends together. Ah! That's right, they go to the demon world, and Brielle and... What is her name? It starts with an SH. Her best friend. I cannot remember it. And I don't want to get it wrong. Because then I'll kick myself later for it. Although I'm wasting time and I can't edit this shit out.
You don't know how to edit?
No, I don't know how to edit. I just figured out how to record the videos. Oh my god, this video's already a disaster. All the other ones went so well. You had to go and come home and ruin it.
You should start over.
No. This gives the video character, Brett.
No, it just makes it 20 minutes long.
It's the last video was 40 minutes long. These are all gonna be like a half an hour. This has only been like 5 minutes. Anyway, book 2. Her and her best friend, Brielle and her best friend, go to Demon City to fight for her mom's freedom to fight in a fight club, underground fight scene kind of way, in order to win like $1 million to buy her mom's contract and set her free. They do that, they win, shit's great. Next book, end of this book, Lincoln proposes to Brielle, she says yes, Lucifer tries to abduct her right after and makes stupid villain remarks about, oh, isn't that so sweet? Too bad you'll be in hell with me and he'll be here. Anyway, she escapes, but then this one, her and Lincoln think that they've got a breather now. They're, like, gonna start planning their wedding. He's getting an award and a promotion, and, like, he's getting surprised with it at, like, some party or something like that, and it's all really great. Lucifer shows up at the party and abducts Brielle. He tortures her for a while, and then tries to force her to work for him. She pretends to agree, and then just waits for the opportune moment to escape, and then escapes and gets back, only to realize Lincoln is gone. This book, didn't read it, because it's just, how many pages? 140 pages of Lincoln trying to get himself killed. Because he thinks Brielle's dead. Oh yeah. Lucifer slits Brielle's throat as he takes her through the portal so that her friends and family think she's dead. But then has a healer on the other side of the portal heal her so that she isn't dead. So Lincoln thinks she's dead. This is basically just an entire book about him trying to get himself killed, and I didn't want to read about that. So I bought it because I wanted it to complete the collection, but I didn't want to read about him just trying to get himself killed. And then the last book, Brielle, when she got back, realized that Lincoln wasn't there to greet her. And finds out Lincoln went on an undercover suicide mission to try and free some slaves. So she goes to pull him out, tell him that he doesn't have to get himself killed because she's still alive. And she gets him out, or she gets herself captured so that Lincoln can pretend to buy her and then get her out. And she meets back up with Lincoln, and they fight their way out, and, like, they're super cute again. They get married, I think, right after that. Her best friend decides to throw, like, the wedding's happening this weekend, and it's Thursday kind of wedding for them. All their friends help, all the archangels help, because they love Brielle and Lincoln. And, it's super cute. They have a super cute wedding, and then they have the big showdown with Lucifer. Brielle kills Lucifer, and, her and Lincoln end up raising, a half succubus, half Lucifer baby. That's another thing that was gonna happen in the third book. When Lucifer was holding her hostage, he was like, I want to make a baby with you, even though you're kind of like my daughter. And she was like, excuse me? And he was like, yeah, imagine what, like, a baby with all of your powers, with all the powers of all of the archangels, and my powers, and then my powers from me, imagine what a baby like that would do. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, you don't have a choice. And she's like, I'm saying no, that's my choice. And he's like, then I guess I'll just have to rape you. It's really bad. Anyway, she makes a friend down in hell, and the friend is like, she's a sorceress, but she's also human, and she's like, I am not okay with this. Anyway, so, Lucifer ended up having sex with the succubus, and the succubus got pregnant, gave birth, and now Lincoln and Brielle are gonna raise the little succubus Lucifer baby. And they're a cute little family. It's adorable. Lincoln and Brielle are so fucking adorable. Absolutely love it. It's wonderful. Yeah, you gonna eat right here? Right now, kitty? Alright. I love you, baby girl. Alright. Dance of Thieves series. So, in Dance of Thieves, Cassie, her full name's Casimira. Freaking love that name. And her nickname's Cassie. Anyway, so she is sent with her two friends by the queen. She's like, thief. Or she was a thief. And very good at it. And the queen basically took her in as a child and trained her and helped her to, become, like, a thief for the crown. The queen kind of became like a mom to her, and all the other people she's taken in like this. And, it's sweet. So she sends her out on a mission to go to this other kingdom and find out what's going on, what illegal shit they're doing that goes against the treaties of all the kingdoms, because there have been reports from there. And she goes there and gets in a fight with Jace, is who it is. She gets, whatever, I don't know what his title is, I don't remember it. But she gets in a fight with him because he's like she steals some oranges for a starving family who had their land burned down, and she doesn't know who Jace is yet, but she thinks that he's the one who did it, because of the reports were that like the leader of the city did it. And so she goes and, Kitty, both of you, please relax. Okay, anyway, so she thinks that he did it because of the reports that like the leader came by and was like, you owe a shit ton of taxes, you gotta pay me now. And then when he was like, I don't have anything, I don't have like enough to pay you, he took everything. And then somebody ended up coming back and burning down like the barn and stealing everything else. It wasn't him, but someone did it and tried to frame him for it. But anyway, so she's there, she doesn't know who he is and that he's like the leader of everyone and in charge and stuff. So like when he confronts her and starts kind of like trying to hit on her, and like he's just doing whatever, being a cocky dude basically. She kind of beats the shit out of him, and then his goal is to, in front of everyone, and then his goal is to lead her into an alley and then beat the shit out of her for revenge. Which, fair play to you, dude. I mean, if you can do it. But then he gets kidnapped by slave traders, and she witnesses him getting kidnapped by slave traders, so then she gets kidnapped by slave traders. And they're really far away from the city now, and they escape. On the journey back, their ankles are like chained together, and they hate each other, and then they slowly start to like each other, and like as friends, and then they fall in love eventually, but then they get back, and like she thinks it was all just a game to him, and then he thinks it was all just a game to her, and the whole thing is really bad, and now they hate each other, and they're against each other, and all this stuff, and a bunch of bad shit happens between them, and she's like reporting against him to the queen, but then they fall in love again because she realizes it wasn't just a game to him and he did actually like her and was starting to fall in love with her. But then when she freaked out because she thought that it was just a game to him, he started to freak out thinking it was just a game to her, and then started to not like her, or started to be unsure about her. So it was like just misunderstanding on both ends. And then this book ends with she abducts him, not abducts him, she takes him prisoner because, I mean, they kind of fall in love, but then he does something. The man who killed her, the slave trader who abducted her mom when she was a small child and sold her, Jace was trying to get answers out of him for her so that she could be like, hey, look, I got the guy. But then he didn't tell her about it because he wanted to, like, surprise her with it, like, look, I got the guy, we could get all the answers. But then, like, she finds out that he has the guy and didn't tell her, so then she gets super pissed and is just, like, done with it. She's like, we're taking the guy, we're taking Jace. They're both criminals, let's go. So her and her friends grab him, and then she takes Jace hostage and arrests him. And his family now hates her because they, like, welcomed her into their family and were like, oh my god, Jace is falling in love with her, oh my god, she's falling in love with him, and they're gonna be so cute together. But then she, like, takes him hostage and arrests him and everything. But then, like, she finds out that he was gonna tell, like, they get back and, like, Jace is gonna be put on trial, and, she finds out that he was gonna tell her, I don't remember how, but she finds out that he was, like, gonna tell her, but wanted it to be, like, sort of a surprise, that he caught the guy and that she can finally get answers, and then, and so she goes and she talks to the queen, and she tells the queen the whole story, and then the queen asks him and asks his side of the story, and he tells his whole side of the story, and that he's in love with her and everything, and it's just super cute, and the queen's like, alright, you're free to go, and hey, Cassie, by the way, we're gonna need an ambassador in this place now. Like, you should go there and be the ambassador, and then you two can be together. And the queen is super supportive of their relationship, and it's adorable. Anyway, so then the next book starts. They are on the journey back to his kingdom, and they find a bird. Well, a bird dies in front of them. It turns out it's a messenger bird. It's got a message to Jace, or to Cassie, from his sister. Shit's gone real bad there. Someone's invaded, someone's taking over everything, people are dying, and, a few of their family members are dead. Or something like that, and they all gotta go into hiding. And then, they get back and can't find his family anywhere. They get back and they get near the gates and he gets shot 4 times with arrows and is dying, and she sends his horse away and is fighting off all of the soldiers that have came out. There's 6 of them. She thinks that he's dead, but is hoping he's not and that he got away. He did get away. His cousin, who in the first book we meet and we hate, because we find out things that aren't very good about him. But then we find out in this book he's not that bad of a guy. He's actually working on our side the whole time. We find out that he's the one who, he broke away from the pack and found Jace in the woods and then took him to some people who can take care of him, and they nurse him back to health. And then, and so she thinks that Jace is dead, and she's having to pretend to be in love with, the guy who took over the town, because he's like, ooh, you're attractive, I like you. That, and he is obsessed with Jace, and knows that Jace was in love with her, but she has to pretend like she was never in love with him. And so, because he was obsessed with Jace and wants everything that Jace had, and, wants to, make it all his own, he wants her. And so she's gotta pretend, and if she doesn't pretend, and if she doesn't do everything that he says, then he's gonna kill Jace's baby brother and sister. They're 4 and 5 years old, or 5 and 6 years old, or something like that. They're really little. But they've been trained since birth to go along with whatever your captor says. You do what they say. You pretend all is great. They're really young, but they know how to play pretend. Anyway, so now she's gotta play pretend. She thinks that the love of her life is dead. She's devastated, but his 2 little, his baby brother and sister are down there. If she doesn't do what this guy says, they're gonna be killed. If she doesn't pretend that she's, falling in love with him, they're gonna be killed. It's just a bad situation all around. So, she gets his little brother and sister out of there. After pretending for a few weeks or whatever, she finds out that, she goes to search the castle or whatever, and Jace's cousin is there, and she finds out that he's actually alive, and that the farmer who suspected Jace of destroying all of his crops and stealing all of his animals and burning his barn down from the first book that I told you about, is actually taking care of him, because Jace had moved them somewhere on his land with fertile land so that they can actually grow crops, and had helped them build a house for them. So they're all friends now. Anyway, so they're taking care of Jason. She finds out from his cousin that he's actually alive, and she's like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna need your help to get his baby brother and sister out of here. Like, I can't do it alone. And so he helps get them out, and then she's, like, talking to the dude or whatever, and like, gets his little brother and sister out of there. Or they get his little brother and sister out of there. And she goes on the run into the forest, but now a bunch of soldiers are after her because shit went wrong. Like, the king figured it out. Or, the king. He calls himself the king. He's a little bitch. Anyway, so he figured out everything that she was doing and is super pissed because he's like totally in love with her and a psycho. So he's like, I'm gonna kill you now. Or, no, he wants her brought back. So then he, she gets away and gets to where Jace's family is hiding. Because, I think that his cousin told her where they might be. And so she went there and, like, all of his older brothers and sisters, like, come out and are like, this is all your fault, like, you got him killed. We heard the speech that, like, you told where you said that you got him killed. And she's like, I had to say that, like, they were holding your little brother and sister hostage. He said if I didn't say that, then they would be killed. She's like, I didn't, like, she's like, Jace is alive, I'm in love with him, like, oh my god. And they don't believe her, so they throw her in one of the traps that the king set in the forest, and she's, like, screaming and screaming, let me go, please don't do this, please don't do this, I'm in love with him, like, I'm in love with Jace, don't do this. And they do it. They walk away. She gets captured again, and the king is pissed. He's like, why couldn't you just love me? And she's like, I could never love you. She's like, you tried to kill my husband. And he's just like, what? And then we find out that on the way back home, they got married, and it's super cute. So she's like, you killed my husband, like, no. And so he starts torturing her for information about where his family is. She doesn't break, and he's gonna execute her. So Jace swoops in and saves her right before she's about to die. And then, but she's been poisoned, so they've got to get a cure to the poison. They get a cure to the poison, they run into his family, and he's like, please just hold on, please just hold on, please just hold on a little longer. And she's like, I'm trying, dude, but I got a lot of poison in me. And he's like, I know, baby, I know. You'll be okay. And then, they get back, and, he finds out that it was and his brother is like, why the fuck did you bring her back here? I'm gonna kill her. And Jace is like, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, why would you save her? We fucking threw her into the trap in the first place. Like, we were the one who handed her over. And Jace is like, goes postal, like, he's literally about to kill her brother, and he's like, you handed my wife over to that monster? And then he's like, yeah, she betrayed our family. And Jace is like, she is my family. And it's just so fucking cute. I can't. Anyway, so, they forgive her and get the whole story from Jace. They get the whole story from Jace, and then they forgive her. She gets the cure to the poison. Her and Jace have some really cute moments. They fight the king. They win the day. And everything's all great. And that is another terrible review of all of my favorite things about this duo of books. I'm sorry that my descriptions are terrible. They are, in fact, all of the things that stuck out to me, all of the things I liked best about them. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the last book, but whatever. Or at the beginning of the first video. But yeah, it's getting near the end now. Just got 3 more series to describe badly to all of you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked it, then please like the video. Let me know in the comments. Anything? Everything, I guess? What you want to see next, maybe? And I think that's all. I look forward to getting to know all of you as my channel grows. Have a great day. Bye.